Retired Nigerian journalist Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi, for Kemi Talks Trump. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Kemi of Nigeria. Sarah Beckstrom, a U.S. Army specialist that was sworn in to become a National Guard member the day before she was murdered. Sarah Beckstrom was posted to Washington, D.C., and she's from West Virginia. We all saw what happened in the news. A man walking towards two National Guard members, ambushing them and just shooting them point blank range. 2 days after, Sarah is dead, 20 years old, just sworn in 24 hours before she was posted to Washington, D.C. For those of you listening to me around the world, my blog, Dr. Kemi of Nigeria on Instagram, Kemi Talks Trump blog, really reports the Trump administration. I blog the Trump administration for most of you in Africa so that you can know what's going on with the good works of President Donald J. Trump. And everything I do on this blog, I explain it in details because I was a journalist for 31 years. And this is one of these stories that really hurts you to the core. I mean, I'm lost of words. I have friends in Nigeria whose brothers and sister just got their green cards and they traveled to America saying goodbye to Nigeria. 2 days after they arrived in America, they were sworn in to the U.S. Army. That automatically makes them a citizen. They have to be there for 2 years. And at the end of the day, imagine if you're sworn in and you become a certain military member at a certain post where they post you and you're shot and killed the next day. Whether you're coming from Nigeria or whether you're American, regardless, a man came in from Afghanistan on that program, Mayorkas. You were part of the CIA backers or helpers or whatnot. You worked with the American government in Afghanistan. You were given the opportunity of a lifetime to move to America with your family. We saw the planes, the U.S. military planes carrying Afghan refugees. We saw how people clung on the planes. We saw how the plane took off and people were still hanging on the planes and they were dropping. The sadness of not going to America with the rest. We saw everything in 2021. President Biden was in office. As tragic as that particular scene was, you made that plane and you came to America. You settled in Washington State with your family, 5 children and a wife. And you wake up and decide one day to revenge at the same people that helped you. Everywhere you're in the world, whether it's Nigeria or America, we have terrorists living amongst us all the time, and they're very close to us. Ramanullah Lakanwan was from Afghanistan. Ramanullah Lakanwan was living with a family in Washington State with his wife and 5 kids. Before the children turn into jihadists too, they should return all of them to Afghanistan. That's what many Americans are saying. The family they were staying with did a whole big GoFundMe for them. People were donating like mad into that GoFundMe. Over $10,000 just to settle them. At the end of the day, Andrew Wolf is still fighting for his life. He's a 24-year-old National Guardsman that was with Sarah Beckstrom. Sarah Beckstrom's father posted, "My baby girl is gone." What kind of life is this? What is this? I'm retired journalist Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi, and I'm really angry. My 3 adult sons are Americans, and I can see them now in the National Guard or something, and somebody comes from another country. Somebody who has affiliations with America, who had the opportunity to get on that military plane, and then they openly gunned down 2 National Guardsmen. What made Lakanwan travel cross country from Washington State, all the way up there to Washington, D.C. Like they said, he picked the wrong country, the wrong city, and the wrong people. There is no right people. There is no right city. There is no right country. He was simply a terrorist. And if any of these guys died, like Janine Pirro said, Janine Pirro used to be a judge. She's an attorney now, one of the U.S. attorneys in Washington, D.C. If any of these National Guardsmen dies, he's facing the death penalty, which he is now. Now, because of this, all Afghan refugee processing has been stopped. President Trump has instructed the United States Citizen and Immigration, USCIS, to pause all processing of Afghan refugees indefinitely. Every single one of them has to be re-vetted. I hope you know what vetting means. They have to do a deep background check on everybody, from where they're coming from and all. You guys remember the guy that stabbed the British guy just a few months ago was also from Afghanistan. Afghan refugees have to be double, triple checked. Now, as of this morning, Black Friday, sure is a Black Friday. November 28th, 2025, President Trump is now looking into every country of concern. Everyone with a green card from a country of concern, like Somalia, Iran, and others. There are 19 designated ones. Nigeria is a country of concern now. You know that we have this Christian genocide going on. I don't know how they're going to handle this. I said I'll put an update there, but if you are a country of particular concern, if you're designated and you're on that list, your green card is going to be scrutinized. They're going to vet you. Please do not get into trouble over there. If you're in America, please do not get into trouble anywhere you are. If you're carrying a U.S. green card, they are vetting and revetting people. President Trump has ordered that every single green card. And when this kind of stuff happens, it puts more money in use, money that could be used for useful things. Now they have to use it to start vetting people. Immigration is going to be overwhelmed. Applications are going to be delayed, backups. You guys should have expected this. For the parents of this young lady, the Beckstrom family, thoughts and prayers, condolences for you. 20 years. This child was born in 2005. Very sad, very sad. Like, I'm lost of words. I don't know what to say about this. You know, what would make you hate America so much? Was he going through PTSD? There's a lot of stuff that needs to be looked at. Now, how can somebody be going through PTSD and they drive that many days cross country? Did he tell his wife where he was going? Everything needs to be scrutinized. Not just all those green cards, not just all those vetting and revetting. Every single thing the FBI should look at. And me, as a former journalist, a retired one, I'm also going to look at things like the National Guard being deployed into several cities in America. Chicago, Portland, Oregon, many places are resisting the National Guard. What is the Army National Guard for? They're supposed to guard the homeland. And you don't want them in your city, right? Look what they've done to Washington, D.C. Crime is gone. Is this another way of preventing the deployment of the National Guard to many cities? Is this another thing? Is this a way of discouraging them? Who is the next National Guardsman that will be hit at any other city? Is this a deterrent? The FBI must look at all this stuff. I can't put it past anybody, especially certain politicians and certain parties that might think, oh no, maybe the National Guard won't come to our city now because one was shot in Washington, D.C. The National Guard still have to come to many cities because of crime, gang members, everything. You see what President Trump wrote about the Somali gangs? He just found out something that's been going on in Canada and Minnesota for a long time.